Toastmaster, and welcome to fellow Toastmasters and guests. Jean Hill once said, "Money can't buy happiness." But anybody who says that's obviously forgotten all about puppies. So how many of you have ever had a puppy? How many of you ever wanted to have a puppy and didn't? Well, today I'm going to talk a little bit about puppies and what you can learn from them, because some of you don't have a puppy right now might want to go get one, and those of you that haven't ever had a puppy might want to rethink that. As some of you may know, and some of you may not, my mom passed away in February. She'd been my roommate and best friend for 23 years, and after she passed away, I needed to make some changes, and so I now have 3 dogs. I have a 17-year-old geezer dog. I have a 6-month-old Maltese puppy named Magnolia Becky Bennett, Mackie for short, and I have a 5-month-old Shih Tzu named Georgia. We're big on Southern names at our house. And I discovered from being around puppies some new things that I didn't know before. I discovered 3 major things about puppies. First of all, puppies actually are training you while you think you're training them. I actually had never had a puppy before, so when I brought Georgia and Mackie home, I went and bought all the stuff that the trainers told me to buy. I bought these things they call pee pads, I bought puppy playpens, I bought chew toys so that they had something to chew, because they said puppies will chew, so you need to get them something to chew. And what I discovered over time is that while I thought I was training the puppies, I discovered that they were really training me. So for example, when I go outside to take the puppies outside, and we do that a lot so that we actually hope that we can learn what outside's for, I take the puppies outside, and Mackie somehow didn't learn how to go down the stairs. And I've been trying to teach Mackie to go down the stairs. Georgia goes up and down the stairs fine. Dixie goes up and down the stairs fine. Mackie stands at the top of the stairs and cries. So I don't know when it happened, but somehow over time Mackie has trained me to carry her down the stairs. Mackie also, both the puppies, I taught them, according to the trainers, I got these special magnificent treats that taste way better than puppy dog food, but to teach them to drop things that they pick up so that they won't eat bad things that aren't good for them. So I would teach them with these little treats, and now what I've discovered a couple of months later is that the dogs have trained me that whenever they want a treat, they go get my shoes out of the closet and start chewing on them in the living room. They've also taught me to pick up the house. I didn't, the puppies are only 5 pounds and about that long, but their reach is amazing. If I don't pick up the house before I leave, and then I let them out for their evening playtime, boy howdy, there's stuff I had no clue they could reach. It has been chewed up, torn up, and shredded. Second thing I learned about puppies is that they're like children. Any of you who are around children, have children, know that if they're out of sight and real quiet for any length of time, something's wrong. Puppies are just like that. Puppies love you and they want to be with you. So if they're out of the room and quiet, you better go look for them. First problem is they're probably finding some place in the house that they can use as a latrine, because they love to break training whatever chances they get. They also chew anything. All that stuff I bought so that they would have something to chew on? They seem to love to find other stuff. Plastic caps, the little plastic things that hang on the curtain, the cords you pull the curtains with. And they also have an amazing affinity for anything with cloth or plastic. They'll go pull stuff. I've actually discovered that puppies, if you have a laundry basket that has holes in it, puppies can pull an entire suit through a little hole about that big if you leave them alone long enough. Oh, and plants? Yes, Lord help you if you have plants down on the floor. And the other thing is that when you're trying to figure out that, the kids are quiet and they're out of the room, you go check on them. One time I walked into my living room, the puppies had, I swear, I'd only been at my desk not paying attention for about 10 minutes. And then I realized it was too quiet. And I went in the other room to look, and there was snow all over the living room floor. It's like this white chunks of stuff. I couldn't figure it out. I went around, I picked it up, and there was just these little bits of like cottony stuff. I don't have cotton balls. I wandered around and looked, so I'm picking it up, and of course they're following along behind me trying to grab it out of my hands. Finally, about 10 minutes later, I figured it out. I had left a puppy pee pad on the chair, which I had planned to actually put in one of their playpens. And they had pulled it off of the chair, torn it in half, ripped all the inner cotton out, and shredded it in little pieces about this big in 10 minutes, to the point that I didn't even recognize them. So puppies are like children. If they're out of the room and quiet, you better go check on them. The other thing it's important to remember is, and I think it's one of the reasons that we love puppies, their whole job is to play. Puppies play in ways that just passes all understanding. I actually laugh out loud because we have what I call the PWPF, the Puppy World Wrestling Championships. My dogs will race around. They're 6 and 5 months old, and they will race around so long that they knock each other out. They literally have run after each other and misjudged the distance, cracked their heads, knocked themselves out on the floor for a minute, and then 2 minutes up later, they're back up running. When you, Mackie, I'm going to pass a picture of Mackie around. She was my first puppy that I ever in my life got this year, and Mackie is crazy. Mackie runs her own little imaginary agility trials. She will run around in the backyard and actually jump over things that aren't there, spin around, and then run around and jump back over that imaginary thing again. And she's just having a good time playing. Georgia's a chewer. Georgia will drop down and chew on anything. And Mackie doesn't like Georgia to stop and not play. So Mackie will reach over and grab Georgia by the top of her little Shih Tzu top knot hair. And if Georgia wants to keep chewing, Maggie just drags her across the grass like that, and Georgia's busy chewing on whatever she's chewing because she's into play. That's how puppies play. So I'd like you to think about it. If you haven't had a puppy in a while, or if you've always wanted a puppy and you never got to have one, I want you to remember that puppies will teach and train you more than you train them. That they're like little kids when they're out of the room. You need to make sure and go check on them. And that at the end of the day, their job is to play, and they will make you laugh and make your heart sing. And if you've always wanted to have one, you're an adult now. Your mom and dad can't tell you no. Thank you very much.